there's like a Arco refinery in Carson. Like I think it's off
Yeah,
the 405, across the street from
yeah.
Spires. I
Uh-huh.
I used to love going to that Spires parking lot and seeing like the runoff just like burning. There's like a burning flame. There's like a candle in the night sky just from the top of one of
Mm-hmm.
those towers and stuff. I didn't know that shit was
Uh-huh.
greenhouse gases slowly turning the air into freaking earth into an
You
oven.
don't, bro. What? I didn't know, dude. What the fuck? That shit is just cool to look at, right? The aesthetics and shit. But bro, I think I told this story on the. I don't know if I told this story on the pod, but man, I think 2 or 3 years ago, because there is a refiner. I think that's the same one, right? We don't live too far from there. So one night we were all chilling outside, just chilling outside. And I was smoking my cigarettes and stuff and chopping it up. Bro, we look up at the sky, and then all of a sudden it just turned like fucking dark, like orange. It was just orange,
Oh.
and it was night. It was like, what the? We were like, what the hell is going on? And then 5 seconds later, boom, bro,
Hey,
a big fucking explosion, bro. And like, what the fuck? And then just we felt immediate heat coming from there, and then it was just fire in the sky, bro. The next day we see that something had blown up at that refinery, bro, and I was like, what the fuck? That's scary. So it's like, is that a metaphor for our Earth? I don't know.
oh,
Bro, because, dude, like,
is
I
that a
mean,
metaphor?
what the fuck?
She warms
Yeah,
up, gets real hot for a second, and then boom.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, is that the future of our Earth? Is that where it's going? Because I mean, I don't know too much about climate change and stuff, but like, this documentary is like waking me up. It's waking
Yeah.
us up to be like, dude, what the fuck can we do? How do we make 1.5, bro?
Above
You
1.5.
know? Yeah, bro. 1.5, stay alive. Is that what it is? 1.5 to stay alive.
Oh, if the sea
Man.
level increases by 1.5 degrees Celsius, then a bunch of Pacific Island nations will be eroded and overcome by like the rising sea. Man, such a,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, that's
I
a,
know. Yeah.
but that's another thing. Like we see all that stuff stateside, but we don't. I mean, it's hot, it's cold, super hot, super cold. There's a bunch of waves right now
Hmm.
that we affected climate change, but I don't think we feel the effects as much as people in the Pacific are. Like, and that's exactly what this documentary, "The Forgotten Pacific," uh, by Coconut
Ooh, that
TV.
was
You can watch it on
smooth.
YouTube. Yo, this
That's a professional. Let's go.
narrated by the great Suluafi Brianna Fruean, who we talked about her answer when she was running for Miss Samoa
Hmm.
a lot, and she's a climate change warrior. And this documentary shows her going around, and it's a good education of what's going on in the Pacific. Freaking islands literally sinking, disappearing. Uh, all the work that is being done throughout the Pacific by these climate warriors, trying to adapt with the change, trying to beat the change back, trying to save their worlds, and
Hmm.
also a little bit of what we can do um, or suggestions of what we can do, like legislation, freaking using old Pacific ways, like traditional ways. Uh, because I feel like the a big standout stat that they put out was right at the front of this doc, and it's that 0.00007% of the greenhouse gases are contributed from Pacific Islands, right? But they're the
Hmm.
first ones that are feeling the effects of climate change and the rising sea levels that are literally
Right.
wiping out their lands and families.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Heavy.
Yeah, heavy. Do you remember when you like when did you where did you hear about the doc, bro? Do you remember?
Oh, it just came out.
That shit
So
is
I
brand
mean,
new.
just
Yeah, it just came out.
I think for Samoa or something on social media posted something about it, and then you sent it to me. So I was like, oh, yo, this just came out. This is fresh. This is also it's going to hit really close to home for a lot of people. Just seeing shots back home, back in the islands of people like us.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just heard about it from you basically in social media.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, Yeah, I seen that on my timeline. I was like, dude, yeah, we definitely need to talk about it
Nice.
because like when I think of climate change, like I don't I don't think about it. And that's
Yeah.
definitely something that has to change because like I remember growing up when they would talk about climate change like it was just being kind of introduced, right? Not really introduced though. Like people have been fighting this shit for years, right? We see it in the documentary with like the Marshallese, and yeah, they've been fighting these environmental fights for years. But when we were growing up, every time climate change was like mentioned at all, it was either a myth or y'all are stupid. That doesn't fucking exist. But now we're feeling the
Yeah.
effects now, right? Yeah, we're feeling it right now, and especially our people back there. Like, what tripped me out was seeing one of the parts that tripped me out was seeing again the Marshallese and like how nuclear testing has fucked things up over there. And
Yeah.
with the drop of fucking Oppenheimer last month or last year,
Mhm.
it was that dude who was in charge of that thing. Like he was the one doing that stuff. So it's like, fuck, man. Fuck. Brianna Fruean and the Pacific Climate Warriors are fighting a good fight, and it's like, what can we do? What more can we do, man?
It's like,
I don't
are we
know.
gonna recycle enough at our houses to turn the tide?
You know, and I feel like that's not enough. I feel like we'd have to join. We have to click up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, for
POLYTICKIN Network and the Pacific Climate Warriors got to click up.
yeah.
And it's definitely a hard effort. I don't know like how long this would take to get to like the Earth to normal levels to be able to live. Because bro, just like during the summer, it does feel hotter. Triple digits was crazy, bro, through the summer, and it's here. You know,
It's like regular
so
now.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh, bro, I don't know how we're gonna stop this, bro. I don't know what we're gonna do.
They make the suggestions towards the end of the doc and introduce these climate treaties and all these
Yep.
this Pacific nation like swell of support for these treaties. So definitely advancing those and mandating certain I don't know, I haven't read it, but like just making sure people are doing their part, mostly corporations, freaking
Yep.
industries, fossil fuels. Uh but then that's going to be a change in life. Like that's going to affect the way our everyday lives are lived, like cars, freaking big ass planes, wasteful, stuff like that. But other people
Yeah.
see it as like, well, that's the way the world runs. How are we gonna have, groceries without big trucks delivering? How are we gonna, be able to transport stuff without being able to fly big planes? Like, uh, and
Make
lobbyists,
everything
all that.
electric. I don't fucking know. Make it all electric. I don't fucking know. We just need to do something to stop this shit because the fucking Earth is gonna blow up if we keep fucking around over here.
Yeah, like the freaking Arco refinery.
Bro, yeah, bro. That how yeah.
uh,
So fucking yeah, the Forgotten Pacific is what we're talking about today. Presented by Brianna Fruean and Coconet TV. Like what did you just think of the doc, bro? Like what was it that what did you think of the doc like just overall?
I thought it was it was, I mean, obviously an educational informational watch. It was kind of tough towards the end, but I learned just seeing what all these climate warriors are doing in their everyday life makes me feel like, okay, at least there's some sort of freaking foundation to be had for this movement that's already,
Mm-hmm.
going. But encouraged, like it was dope to see Brianna Fruin also going from nation to nation and getting these stories and seeing what they're doing. But it's like just thinking about. Sorry, I think your mic is clicking a little bit, like a
Oh fuck.
wire or something. Uh, yeah, no, seeing the journey was encouraging, but also kind of disheartening. Seeing like just how big of a battle they're up against. Like it's the whole like fossil fuel industry trying to keep their industry going, and it's just like so many people on the ground, but it feels like David and Goliath basically like having to fight the Goliath of a fossil fuel industry. So it's kind of like, oh, this sucks and feels like, yeah, disheartening a little bit. What about you
Yeah.
watching it?
Um, it just makes me think of like all the different fights that are going on,
Mm,
um, like besides climate change that are affecting, just the world, basically, right? That like all these different causes that like make you sit back and be like, dude, what can I do? But there's so many out there that affect, just the world. There's those fucking wars going on over there. You know,
no,
yeah, all these different fights that like I don't know which one I should,
you got to do them all.
help. Yeah, just do them all.
Just
You want to be a real activist, do them all. You know, but this one feels like a lot more, not really, I guess, doable. On our end. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing about what's going on in the Middle East, but I can definitely recycle more. I can be more aware of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I can contribute to what the hell's going on over here. You know, as far as climate change and helping our people out over over there in the Pacific, because it's like I don't know. You know, I don't know what I'm saying. I hope I'm making sense.
you're 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 motivated internally, like yourself, to be a better recycler because like the end
I just
effect is like, oh, I'm sinking too well by
you know I just want to I guess I just want to do better. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to do that besides clicking up with the climate warriors. And this doc is just showing like everything that's been going on that I'm just not aware of, and it makes me sad because it's like there's literally a country out there that is trying to preserve their entire way of life through meta. You know what I'm saying? The first digital nation with Tuvalu. That shit is crazy, bro. And it makes me think that like Samoa is a pretty populous country, relatively populous. We got a lot of people over there and out here. Like imagine if we were to lose our culture or lose our island and we'd have to preserve it online. Like what would that look like
yeah.
for us? You know what I'm saying? And Tuvalu's such a small nation. Like, I don't know. It kind of fucked me up. Not gonna lie.
I'm thinking about how there have been like uh, natural disasters that have taken away shoreline houses or and like lives back
Come
in
on,
American
bro.
Samoa or throughout the Pacific, and thinking,
2000,
yeah,
2009.
yeah, and how people eventually will have to move further and further inland or up,
Mm-hmm.
up in the mountains and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's eventually that'll be felt. I feel like the islands like in the North Pacific are a lot more flat. I didn't realize they were that flat
Mm.
uh, compared to American Samoa that has like more mountains and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good
it's a
point.
lot easier to see like a little bit of a rise in sea level could like totally wipe out large portions of like a flat island, and it's doing
Bro,
that. And like Tuvalu, that's freaking
bro, those shots, right? Those shots of like Tuvalu with the one road and people are driving and just fucking the ocean is just coming up and splashing
waves
onto the roads
on
like
both sides.
waves. Bro,
On
what
both
the
sides of
hell?
you, there's waves.
That's scary, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
scary. And like they mentioned king tides in there, right? And they would show footage of the king tides just fucking wiping out all these foliage that they got over there. And it's like, dude, what the hell, bro? What are we supposed to do to combat that? You know? And I like seeing them do like the little things, right? I mean, they're not really little things, but they're big projects, right? But it's a little thing like planting those mangroves or planting different like plant life to help, combat these things. And it's little things like that where I'm just like, dude, that's awesome. I don't know how the fuck they figured that out because that that is crazy. Like there's that shot where they're talking about excuse me. Was it the mangroves that look all like not really barbed, but they're
Tall
fuck, I don't
trees,
know how to describe.
and
Yeah,
on the
not
bottom they're
really
kind of
tall.
interwoven.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. I don't know how did they figure that out that that was something that
I think they were
that
like
that would combat this.
I think they were like natural mangroves, like out
Hmm.
there, and they realized, okay, it's really kind of like a shock resistor for the big waves that come in. It kind of
Hey,
dissipates the energy, so by the time it gets through the mangrove and to the shore or to the island, it's not a crazy big wave coming at them compared to what was on, like a mangroveless side of the beach and it was all wiped out. So they were like, yo, can we get this natural, kind of defense mechanism and plant it into more areas? And they're like, unfortunately, you can't
yeah,
just plant the whole thing around because it doesn't take in a lot of places, but they're trying their best to use that.
yeah.
And that's another thing, using natural or traditional practices,
Hmm.
but it's like this is a small nation doing these things just to survive and not emit more carbon. But it's really where is the carbon coming from? Where are all the fossil fuel, like the greenhouse gases, all coming from that are making it hot like that? It's
Yeah.
it's big oil, the
Big oil.
big oil,
Big
uh,
oil.
and
Yeah.
there's climate change agreements, and I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like me and you can recycle. We can have this show and try to convince other people to do more, recycling, less polluting. At least don't make the problem any more worse because it's already really
Hmm.
bad, even though we don't see the effects as much as people in the Pacific do. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's also who's the one doing the most damage, and if it's us driving cars, how are we going to convince people to not be driving their cars? Like that
Right.
feels like a big uphill climb. How are we going to convince people to take the bus more? And maybe an electric bus, maybe electric vehicles. Uh, I don't know. All renewable energy, solar
Hmm.
power, wind power. But you got a lot of people saying the windmills are killing American eagles and shit, and electric energy is just as bad as gas energy. There's a lot of
Oh,
stuff like that going around. But I'm gonna say
yeah.
personally, I feel like that's coming from the oil industry saying, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't
No.
want those
Yeah.
freaking windmills. All the birds are gonna die. You want to live in a birdless
Yeah.
society? No, pump your gas, shut your mouth, drive to work. Don't take public
A
transit.
birdless society. Yeah, we
Is that
built
what
our
you
entire
want for your
platform
children?
on. Yeah.
Drive your
Big
cars.
oil. Bro, big oil at it again. All right. They built their entire platform on a birdless society,
You
bro.
don't want
And
that.
it's
It's fear
working.
mongering.
Fear mongering, bro. Fuck big oil, bro.
What are you gonna do if
Big
you don't have a
oil.
car? Big Oil smoking a cigar at the. What are you gonna do if you don't have a car? You gonna walk to work? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Pump your gas.
Yeah,
Shut
for
up.
real.
No, hey, tell
You,
Big Oil. I mean, and it might not be a big ass, effect down to our level, but if there's some sort of cut or a way for it to a big chunk of it to stop happening at the top level, then that to me seems like the best, fastest way to try to at least slow down these effects so we can have more time to think about how to, reverse them, how to
yeah.
freaking, I don't know, get these gases out of the atmosphere. It feels like a science lesson now. And
Yeah,
you got to watch
bro.
the doc because I learned it. Like I feel like I knew about this before, but they really do like even have animations and certain like visual aids to explain how it's happening, exactly how greenhouse gases are enveloping the earth,
Enveloping.
uh,
Big
and
oil.
and
Enveloping.
and keeping the heat freaking on us. And
What's what? And what?
a big
Go
thing
on.
that I learned in this
Come on.
documentary. I was not
I was just
sending my
about to
man.
ask your ass. Let's go.
The
Lock
ocean,
in.
the ocean is actually a big absorber of the Earth's heat. Like it's not all just like hitting on land and people. A lot of it hits the ocean and is taken into the ocean and out of the air. So it's like kind of like a cooling unit for the world
Holy
is the
fuck.
ocean. But the cooling unit keeps taking in all this freaking heat and it's starting to warm up a
Yeah.
little bit. Ice caps are melting, a lot more water is being pushed around. We just had a hurricane up the East Coast. in the
Yeah.
United States, like real bad, affecting so many states. And it's like, well, that happened 1,000 years ago, so it's not like out of the ordinary. And it's like, first of all, you're reaching real far back to try to justify, oh, these things happen. They're an act of God. I was like, they're happening more often. They're getting stronger. There needs to be change. And I don't want to like make this sound dismissive, but I personally don't think personal recycling is going to change the world. I mean, I shouldn't say that actually. We need to all do our part to at least slow down what is already going on. But
yeah, if everybody on Earth recycled the way we're supposed to, it would probably do something.
Oh,
right? But that's just not possible. Well, I mean, not impossible, but it's just hard to convince millions of fucking people to recycle, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Like,
so
what is recyclable? Like, sometimes I don't even know what you're allowed to put in here, what actually gets cut. You see the memes where the recycle and the trash is going to the same.
What?
Why is it difficult to do the right thing? Like,
bro, I'm a fucking idiot. We had a whole bag full of like the metal tuna cans, and I didn't know where to throw them, bro. I was just like, dude, do I throw this in the? Is this recycle or trash? And then I look on the recycle bin, and it says no sharps. I was like, dude, I done cut my hand on a couple tuna cans. I'll throw it in the trash. But I don't think that's right. Was I wrong for that, bro? I mean, fuck, I don't know.
It's like,
someone help me.
I've been cut a lot on these. Yeah. Yeah, that's like,
yeah, man.
That's that's part of it. It's like, am I even doing this right? Keep trying to do the right thing, guys. If we all do the right thing, it'll be worth it. Good effort. Hey, you wanted to throw it in the recycle, but it was like, nah.
What?
Your recycle was like, hey, put that in the garbage.
We recycle. I guess. I'm a fucking. Oh, that shit is so funny, man. What are the 5 islands that they focused on? They focused on Fiji, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, the Republic of the Marshall Islands, and Samoa, where Brianna Fruean is from. And it's crazy seeing the different tactics each island is doing to try to combat this stuff. Especially, what was that last one? That was Vanuatu, right? With the guy that lived almost not isolated, but like it was such a small rural village, where he was at. And he was the one who said that we should be the front lines. We should be in the front lines of this. Just seeing his work, I forget his name. That's bad. But that was Futuna Island, I think.
There was a guy who's like, he was in all the meetings, at all the boardrooms, like climate change stuff. And then he's like, this isn't actually helping, on the ground as much back home where I needed to work. So he just went home and started changing things on his island to like try to affect that change. I guess more firsthand.
He was out there building. He was building better climate adjusted housing over there for his village. That was the one where they were building the canoes too, right? Fuck, man. I don't even know what to make of that. Like, I guess it's like I said, it's little things like that that'll go a long way, right? But how would Samoa, like American Samoa, where we were at, like how do we? Because there's a dedicated like department in the government for this stuff, the EPA, and I want to know what other projects they got going on, because I think one of them involved the coral reefs. Right, that we seen.
Oh yeah, bro, that was so hard. That part was so hard because I thought was taught once the coral reef dies, it's dead.
That was it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But these guys are actually nursing it back to life with like certain freaking heat resistant organisms. I don't know what coral reef is. They talk about it in the doc, but they're literally repopulating the coral reef. That's
what the hell?
That's dope.
They put that bro, they made these underwater tables to put like healthy coral and put them
Hmm.
on there to get away from all the bad stuff. And then when it gets a little healthier, that's when they replant it over there by the dead coral to, you
Yeah,
know, to give us some shit, you know. So I think if Samoa can do more projects like that, then definitely we can make a difference. But like, dude, it just doesn't seem big enough, you know. And maybe that's all me for thinking that that's not big enough, but it definitely does make a difference. I'm just like, dude, we need to do more, dude. We need to do more. As I sit here from the comfort of my bedroom and complain about this shit, you know. So it's man, there's so much effort going around to combat this shit, but it just feels like an uphill battle, especially with like the stuff with like Greta Thunberg. You know, like Greta Thunberg is out here on the front lines fighting this shit since she was a teenager. You know, Brianna Fruean is our Greta Thunberg.
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was.
Like, she's out there, bro. Um, Yeah, like this doc definitely made me want to do something and it achieved its goal. You know, that's exactly the point of this doc is to make me want to do something. It's just again, I don't feel like what I can do is enough, you know?
Uh,
Um but fuck, what? Go on.
yeah, I also feel like I'm not doing enough, right? Because these guys are showing how their lives, these climate warriors are showing that their lives are dedicated, to
Man,
this
what?
study, to this, area. This industry is like uh saving but it's literally like saving their islands, saving their land, their
Mhm.
families, their culture, even. So it's uh dope to see. But you say this really moved us as a documentary, like as a film. What stood out to you? I feel like there were, colors, definitely the shots,
Oh
going
yeah.
back home, really
Yeah.
connected, seeing people that, I feel like seen back home, really connected to it. But what did you like about the documentary?
It was I think I texted you about this, right? It was the constant shot of kids jumping into the ocean. And
Mm,
every time I seen that, I was like, message. That's exactly what this is about, right? Is these children are jumping in and playing into the ocean that could one day, if we don't hunker down and do something about it, could take them. You know, like the same ocean that we grow up playing in can take your life, your culture, literally your culture, your island away. You know, so I thought it was a cool little metaphor to see that, you know, throughout the entire doc. It was just kids just, you know, living their lives and playing in the ocean who have no idea of really what's going on, you know. But then you see towards the end where like there are kids who are like invested in these projects too. So it's like it's about the future generations. So you know, the future generations of picking up this fight, you know, after along with the climate warriors as they get older, you know. So I thought that was a cool thing to see. Um, and also it like just reiterates that point, right? Is I think I wrote it in here. It was that girl that was from Fiji, that Fijian girl who was talking about you know, she was talking about her work, and she said this that really made me like, what the fuck? She said that this is a tree that I'm planting that I'll never enjoy the shade of, you know? And I was like, oh, God, please, no, save this shit in her generation so she can see it, bro. I want her to see the fruits of her labor, but it's like that's what it is, right? It's gonna take years for this to happen. But to see but to see the young ones being inspired by these same people or by the same group is like it's very inspiring too to me. So, what about you, bruh? I'm over here talking too much. What happened?
no, that was great. Uh, I did not expect them to be going to so many different places and to see
mm,
the like washed out effects and like how climate change is affecting them in like kind of different ways. Like, yeah, rising sea levels, but it's like losing the land, entire roads getting washed out, definitely the natural
mm.
disasters that can hurt and destroy. Um, I seeing so many different examples, I feel like is another. I mean, obviously, this is a documentary with like a specific focus and kind of scope, but it makes me think that this is a really big, a really big deal. Like there's so many different um, freaking accounts testimonies, verifications that this is happening to people and the different ways that it affects people. Like there are certain places with no roads, like not big enough to have roads, and seeing the huge effects that a landslide can have on like wiping out their path, and not being able to get to the other side of the island, like the way that's affecting them. I thought the documentary did a great job. Beautiful colors to be expected. Pacific Island, right?
Yeah.
I felt it was good, vibrant. There was a lot of like solemn piano music drop swells, like to really point how serious and freaking real this is to affecting these people and their lives. I thought it did a good job of portraying like you know, the various ways that Pacific Islands are being affected negatively by climate change. So I think, yeah, a good job of the documentary doing its job and really highlighting all that. And so many different, it's also encouraging to see so many different climate warriors, like you said, kind of providing that example for the next generation. Hopefully it's not like a big standout fight in the next generation, you know. Hopefully more kids are like, yeah, that's just what we do. We recycle, we advocate for better policies. We know what, because we're starting to see the effects. I see the pictures, the freaking, there used to be a lot more land here when my mom was like posting on MySpace, and now look, there's nothing here. And so yeah, I thought the doc was strong. I think in it, a large part of that is freaking seeing what could have been American Samoa. In those shots of those islands is basically Pacific people in the ocean making canoes, trying to figure out ways to sustain themselves and their families. So yeah, I think anybody that watches this will kind of feel the same way and take that. But then I was also thinking, would anybody, or would just like Pacific people? Is this a Pacific people doc? Or you think this would, like, you show this to your white friends, they'd be like, oh damn, that sucks. For you think that's like moving them?
They probably won't be as invested as us, you know. It's not their people, it's ours, you know. But I mean, if we were to let them know, like, hey, this doesn't just affect our people here. It could blow the earth up, dude. The earth could blow up, and you're also in the earth, white friends. You know what I'm saying? So do your part. You know what I mean? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I don't think the homies would be as enthused. The white homies would be enthused to do something. But
there were some gems in here. I thought there were some bars. There were some great lines. Any quotes that like stood out to you?
That first one right here. That first one. The Alo Longotai O Longouta. What is felt towards the sea is felt towards the land. I was like, dude, I mean, I never thought of it. I don't live by the sea, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so I fuck. I mean, you said that the ocean absorbs heat.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, that's it's going to be a reflection of what's going on here. So if the sea absorbs too much heat, then we're done for. Us here on land. Is that's like the basic thing?
If the sea heats up,
yeah,
and that's
on top of the gases and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The gases lead to the heat up, lead to the ice melting, lead to the water rising, lead to the more weathering.
The neck bone's connected to the neck bone, and then connected to the neck bone. Yeah, bro. All of that. What about you, man?
I'm trying to think of certain quotables, but yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of things that they presented here that really stuck out. The water, the ocean is an absorber of heat was huge. How they like explain the greenhouse gases. Fruean says it when she like, I grew up learning that forests, trees, you know, were like the lungs of the earth. But finding out now that the ocean plays a large part of oxygenating, containing heat and stuff like that. So we got to, there was another part that said the ocean needs to be part of the conversation, which made me chuckle. Like, I was like, microphone to the ocean. What do you want us to do? You know, but that was dumb. But then I was thinking, that's right. We can't just do
Yes.
what we think is going to be good for us on land, the weather affecting us on land. What is happening to the oceans? Using the data from scientists to really see how that's affecting the rest of the world. The fish, the coral reef, the tides, the freaking patterns of all these different animals. Now you got killer whales attacking yachts. Shit,
Come
the
on,
ocean's
bro.
fighting back, bro. You watch, the ocean's starting to hey, you guys are messing with our house, and now they're fighting for their land, and that was just a whole thing happening. But yeah, fossil fuel
Aquaman
industry.
comes up, bro.
Yeah, Aquaman's like, what the hell's going on? It's like, Jason. Um, yeah,
Yeah, man. Fuck the fossil fuel industry. I like I like the climate warriors. What is it? Their mantra, their motto: "We are not drowning, we're fighting."
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get that. Fucking get that. You know what I'm saying? I like I didn't know like that they would go to these different countries too for these conventions and stuff. I like seeing those the footage of that too. Like standing in solidarity with each other, marching down, you know, and then speaking at these big conventions with like these world leaders, you know.
yeah.
Um yeah, I like that scene of that one. I think she's from the Marshallese too, where she said a poem at the convention talking about her daughter. And I think it was from then. It was from that one where they were like, where they voted again to like, okay, 1.5 is the number that we need to go. It is the number that we need to get to. Like one of the deciding factors for them to be like, yeah, what was it, right?
Trying to figure out what the 1.5. The 1.5 to stay alive is like we can't have the ocean temperature go up anymore than 1.5 degrees, or else it's over. So keeping it under, or it's like we
I
need to
thought
reverse
I thought
1.5.
I
We
thought
need
they're
to
trying
take
to
it
get
down.
to 1 point. Yeah, they need to take it down to 1.5 because it's above right now. So they got to take it down to 1.5.
They got to take it down by
That's what
1.5.
I don't know. Fuck. I thought that was it. I thought we figured it out, man. Fuck. Well, look, man, 1.5 just stay alive, okay? I gotta watch the doc again, okay? I'm sorry. Um, yeah. That was agreed upon in the Paris Agreement, and just seeing, oh, fuck, I forget her damn name, man. I'm sorry. Um, her perform that piece, you know. Uh, I guess that went a long way to make those guys be like, okay, this is it. Whatever 1.5 is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? They agreed that that's it. You know.
It's
What
a
did you find it?
commitment to limit the global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees. So, okay, and it's the
So
global temperature.
okay,
If the
global
global
temperature.
temperature goes up, we got to stop it by at least 1.5. I think 2 is where they said things are going to get bad, so they're trying to keep it at 1.5 or less. But
Okay.
yeah, there are a couple suggestions they made for ways you can contribute or look into other than just this documentary, where they have the 350 Pacific .org,
Mm.
which 350pacific.org is to learn more about Pacific climate warriors. To
Mm-hmm.
learn about the treaty that they were talking about, the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty, you can see them at fossilfueltreaty.org. And for more Pacific climate change storytelling, fossilfreepacific.org. So
Okay.
there's even more of these stories and more in-depth pieces on probably what they've already shot. So definitely this documentary is going to be, I mean, it's already got 250,000 views in a week.
Oh.
It's spreading. So people are going to definitely learn about this, and more eyes are going to be on these projects, these islands,
Mm.
which is great. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, try to share it. Yeah, and kind of get the word out, because the more people are affected. I mean, and we see a lot of films, but this one kind of moved us to try to change, trying to be better recyclers, trying to affect the treaty conditions or whatever. So
Yeah.
trying to spread it out, try and get more eyes on it. because it's we can do some sad boy stuff and like how exactly we feel the environment and the world and the climate is like. But if you need some hope, if you need some help, here we can suggest definitely watching this documentary and learning more about how climate change is actually affecting Pacific Island nations a lot quicker than us here inland, us here in the States. Literally,
That's what they wanted to. Yeah, that's what they wanted to emphasize is that there's hope. There's hope for the future. So
oh, that's a good
we
point.
won't be too. Yeah, we won't be too deep into the sad boy bag. You know what I'm saying? We're okay. We're not gonna be sad boys if freaking Brianna Fruean is telling us that there's hope. Okay, we're good.
Suluafi,
Good.
Brianna Fruean, come on the
Um,
show.
it, come on, man. Come on. So
Really
general
tell us
score for
what
the
we can
doc,
do.
What you got? Yeah, please. Come on, bro. He was killing it at that convention.
Yeah, I want to give this a 9 out of 10. Or what were we doing? Sorry, it's
No,
a
there's
letter
no
grade?
rubric.
Okay.
Yeah, just general. Yeah.
For
Oh yeah,
documentary.
yeah. You could do a letter. Yeah.
Uh,
Either one or both. Fuck.
beautiful.
It's our show.
Beautiful to watch. There was like some I felt like emotion ties with the music swelling, and definitely with seeing our people in our islands. But a great production, great lesson, great watch, and some ways to help at the end. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about you?
9. Yeah. I give it a 9 too, just for the way it delivers its message and how much it affected me. Message. How much it affected us into wanting to do something, and it achieved its goal. If we're gonna talk about shots, it was shot beautifully, like you said, as expected. You're in the Pacific, you know what I'm saying? We got some beautiful stuff out there, so it looked great. Yeah, it accomplished its mission as far as what it wanted the viewers who were watching the doc to feel. So give it a 9 too. 9 A+.
And there are a lot of like recordings and showings of like how it's terribly affecting our islands, but it's also a bunch of climate warriors that are freaking doing great work. So yeah, definitely more encouraging to see that and them on the front lines. Yeah, I want to be better. I feel so like freaking not connected and not doing enough,
bro.
Man.
What the fuck, bro? You feel like that, bro? I feel like that too, man. You know what? I if I met them in person, I think I'd be hella intimidated, bro. Especially Brianna. Like, dude, diagonally, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what to, like, dude, you guys are doing a lot, and I'm not doing anything. I'll just chill right here. I'm sorry.
I'll do, I feel like that's how I usually do it too. I'm like, whoa, real activist person over there, just me back here.
Yeah, I'm your biggest fan. I'm a cheerleader. Woo!
Cheer him on. Yeah. And the least we can do is highlight this documentary and try to spread the message and definitely encourage people to watch it. Yeah. Check it out. The Forgotten Pacific by Coconut TV on YouTube.
Yeah, buddy. If you're still here, we appreciate y'all, man. Check out the other shows in the network. Do what you gotta do. Talk to us nice, or don't talk to us at all. Okay? Beep boop, beep 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 boop. Yeah, got anything else for him, brother?
That's it. Roll the credits. We're out.
Roll the credits. We're out. Go far. Bye. Watch the doc. All right? Do it. Yeah, go far.